Hello from Trend Signal for a review of the data and events the week beginning the 21st of May. News overnight is dominated by progress in the trade talks between US and China. The US administration announced overnight that it would halt plans to introduce tariffs on $150 billion worth of imported goods from China. Steve Mnuchin, the US Treasury Secretary, said the US was putting the trade war on hold. Perhaps not the most bullish of statements, but for now there is greater hope a trade war can be averted. This came about following the Chinese commitment to increase significantly the purchase of American farm exports and energy. Both sides said they would continue talking over the summer. However, I'm not altogether sure how long this is going to last. The press in the USA are referring to this as a victory for the Chinese negotiators. Maybe this is just a pause in the war. Anyway, the reaction was for a general lift in the Far East markets. Hong Kong, the biggest beneficiary, as a trading hub in the Far East. And the FTSE, following on the bullish mood with another new all-time trading high. Just have a quick look at the FTSE 100. So, yeah, moving ahead nicely. Just an intraday chart saying the gap from the opening and trading higher straight away. Certainly, as we speak here at 10 o'clock on Monday morning. Let's have a look at the data and events due out this week. We have a bank holiday in Europe, really. I'd say mostly in Europe, but it's certainly not in the UK. It's Whit Monday, the day after Pentecost, or sometimes called Pentecost Monday. So all the equity capital markets, futures markets are all closed on Monday. So we really start the week on Tuesday as far as data is concerned with the inflation report hearings. This is Carney and Co., a few members of the MPC, testifying in the Houses of Parliament regarding inflation and the economic outlook. Wednesday, we jump to one of the most important days, certainly for the sterling markets. The CPI data, or inflation data, expected to maintain this 2.5% level reported last month. Can't really, I suspect that the pressure will build for a further rise in inflation. I can't think that the petrol prices on the rise, the inflation will pick up again in the months to come. Oil inventories, regular weekly data, another drawdown. This $80 level talk, certainly on Brent, is all about whether this level will be sustained. Time will tell, obviously. An important data or event this week is the release of the FOMC minutes. This is the Federal Open Market Committee minutes from the last Federal Reserve monetary policy meeting. The minutes are key, like most minutes from these sort of meetings. They provide insight into the Fed's thinking, just so that the market is better informed. That's the reason why they release these minutes. 7 o'clock on Wednesday evening. They usually have an effect on markets, particularly the dollar and equity markets especially. Thursday, we jump to another speech from Mark Carney, speaking at the Markets Forum in London, followed by retail sales. So our second really important bit of data for the sterling markets this week, following on from the inflation data on Wednesday. We are expecting a rebound from the rather disappointing 1.2% fall last month, and the expectation is for a rise of plus 0.8%. And then at 12:30 on a Thursday, we have what's called the ECB monthly policy meeting accounts, effectively the minutes from the last ECB meeting. Obviously, the release can affect the Eurozone equity bond and FX markets. Friday, we have the second release of the UK GDP, or gross domestic product data. The first release was rather poor, plus 0.1%, but one can't help feeling that perhaps we might get a revision higher as the ONS collects more data on this GDP reading. So this is the second of three readings at 9:30 on Friday. 1:30 on Friday, we have the release of the durable goods data, the core durable goods data, which is an important gauge of new purchase orders. It excludes the big ticket items like planes and ships, etc. But it's a good gauge of how the sale of goods is going. And then we conclude the week with speeches from Mark Carney from the BOE and Jay Powell from the Federal Reserve, who are both speaking at the Riksbank Anniversary Conference in Stockholm. As always, though, these speeches, they can move our markets, despite the fact that central bankers try to be careful with their remarks, but they're not always so. Are they, Mr. Carney? That's it. Thank you very much. All the best. Bye for now.
If you would like more information about trading the right way, Trend Signal is giving you the opportunity to see and hear about its services live at a free online seminar. Take a look at the Trend Signal website for the latest events and to book your free place.